We turn to Natalia and Margarita now in Bogota with some more analysis on these elections. Natalia, there was some fears going up to these elections that there could be violence or corruption during the electoral process. How did it go, or were there any reports of that?
There is something really interesting, actually, Cody, and is that historically here in Colombia, it has been considered that the biggest risk of our electoral system is violence and the armed conflict related violence and also the insurgency. But what actually these latest regional and local elections has exposed is that violence was not that much of a threat as it actually was the corruption. So we can definitely say that as a result of the current peace process, we had yesterday the most peaceful local and regional elections. These elections took place amidst a historic reduction on violence. But on the other side, what has to do with corruption and particularly vote buying, there were heightening concerns and quite frightening numbers that shows the potential risk of fraud that was yesterday in the elections scenario. The Electoral Observation Mission, for instance, have said that 5 candidates for being governors that were highly questionable got actually elected. That on the one side. On the other side, they have received 1,200, 1,300 almost reports of vote buying. These are numbers that they are still, the Electoral Observation Mission is still corroborating, but they said that there were heightening, and they are heightening concerns regarding the corruption, and as I said before, specifically vote buying here in Colombia during yesterday's elections.
And so let's talk a little bit about the results, Natalia. We know that President Santos's coalition, he won some of the most important governors and mayor's office. What other takeaways should we take away from the results? And can the coalition of Santos's, the victory of Santos's coalition be taken as some type of support to the peace process among the electorate there?
Well, these were local elections, Cody. So basically, more than for the peace process, people were voting for very local related issues. Now, in terms of the peace process, of course, the fact, as you mentioned, that the candidates of the coalition of President Santos won quite a significant number of mayors' positions as well as governors. It's gonna at the end mean that he will have a much easier time when it comes to the endorsement and implementation of these peace agreements once a final peace deal is reached in Havana, which is expected to happen before March next year. So indeed, this will make that process of implementation and endorsement much easier, as these members of the President Santos coalition managed to be elected in various major offices and governors' positions.
And very quickly, Natalia, Bogota, once again, is going to be ruled by the center right there after years in the hands of left-wing mayors. What should we make of that? Are the voters there taking a turn to the right?
It's difficult to say, Cody, but what's true is the peace advocates here that were surrounding the campaign of leftist Clara Lopez, what they have said is that, well, Clara immediately was actually the first one in conceding defeat. And on the other side, they have said that they will continue to work for peace here, that Bogota is the mayor of Bogota, it's a very important position, as what is expected to happen in the near future is to be able to construct a model of capital in Colombia that is prepared for peace. So they have also said that they expect that the newly elected mayor of Bogota, Enrique Peñalosa, can abide by these plans for peace and to make of Bogota this capital of peace.
All right, Natalia Margarito there reporting from Bogota. Natalia, thanks.
Back to you.